up, everybody? Welcome back to another Wisdom Girl Wise Woman show. It's your girl, Wisdom Girl Carmel Miller, and this is.
Hey, everybody. I am Leslie Christie, wise woman.
And
So, wisdom girl, what we got going on today?
we are going to be talking about or covering the topic forgiveness.
Forgiveness. All right. Whew, that's a tough one, but come on, let's get into it.
Well, to be honest, or truth be told, it's really hard to forgive.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you want to live happy and joyful, then there's no choice but to forgive.
Yeah, so true, so true. And when we don't forgive, then we kind of hold on to feelings that kind of mess us up. It kind of does something to ourselves. We think that we're doing something to the other person that we aren't forgiving, when actually we're kind of messing up our own selves. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's true. But I just want to say a fact is or advice, whatever you want to call it. So, forgiveness, to be honest, forgiveness, right? We
Hmm.
have one life. We're not a
Yep.
cat. We are human, not a cat.
Hmm.
One life, and forgiveness is the only way to live it right.
Come on. That's a good way to start it out with that wisdom nugget. We have one life, and forgiveness is the only way to live it right. I love that. I love that. And it's so true. You got to forgive. If you want a full life, you have to forgive. And it's something that you have to practice over and over again. Like it doesn't just come naturally, right? I mean, it just doesn't. You're not born with it or anything like that. You got to practice it every single day.
Right. So, just a question for the audience, or whatever you want to call it, question for the audience. Well, what were some times that you just could not forgive, or
Yeah.
felt like you couldn't, or struggled to forgive?
Yeah. So we want y'all to kind of type it in the chat. Type it where you are. That like Wisdom Girl said, some of the times or a time when you struggle to forgive. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about it. We want to be honest, right? This is what this show is about. Honest conversations. And so we want you to really tell us so that we can kind of talk about it. We're going to share our story. So
Duh.
yeah. So we want you to do the same thing. All right, Wisdom Girl. Well, we both have some stories to tell. So why don't you go first?
Okay. Newsflash: this person, my best friend, basically was talking about me behind my back. Whatever. I told her off about it. We forgave each other. Blah blah blah. I forgave her and whatever. That was the end.
So wait a minute. So it was really easy for you to forgive her? Like what
No, it
what
wasn't.
happened? Like what steps did you take to get to that place where you were able to forgive her?
I'm a sentimental person.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I'm
So
a
so
sentimental person. So basically, she was really she's been really like she was really sad
mhm.
that she lost me. But you lost me on your own.
Mm.
But newsflash, it was like I'm so sentimental that when I see other people sad, it just kind of, you know, melts
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know that about you, that when you see other people sad, it does something to you. It makes you sad. Like you want everybody to be happy. That's you. Can we all just get along? Can we all just be happy? Yeah,
Yeah,
I understand.
we're children. There's already enough going on in the world, and I don't have to revisit 2020, and I don't want to revisit 2020.
I hear you. Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
not 2020. If I
yeah.
wanted to revisit a year, I'll probably have to go with the year I was born.
Yeah. That's
Nowhere.
you know what? That's some good wisdom for even for adults, not just children, but for adults, because, the things that we had to go through and experience in 2020 was difficult. It was hard, and to have to go back and revisit it, our emotions, our experiences, that's a lot. That's a lot. And you said, I don't want, excuse me, you said, I don't want to go back to 2020. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't want to go back there either. I really don't. Well, all right. So you want to know? Well, okay. For me, because I'm so much older than you, right? Okay. Don't say nothing. Everybody
Oh.
knows I'm older than you. Okay. But I've had a lot of times where I had to forgive people, particularly in this call that I'm in as a pastor. We have to forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive because, we're like a target. We're like a target, and a lot of things are dumped on us. We get blamed for things that, that aren't our fault, all kinds of stuff. And so I've had to learn. I don't want to like pick one thing. You okay with that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Okay. I don't want to pick one thing, but I will say this, that I have been in positions where I've taken a lot and I've had to forgive. And the hardest time was to forgive was when I had to forgive like family members or friends or something like that. That was the tough times for me. So there you have it. Well, okay. So our audience has chimed in the conversation. You want to talk about, you want to mention at least one or two people?
Yeah. So Sister Tanisha
Uh-huh.
says that I had struggled with forgiving some family members. That is kind of tough, especially with family. So if you had to struggle forgive, I'm not gonna be critical, and I mean second critical, judgmental, and no criticism. No, not
Yeah,
me.
no criticism, no judgment here, none.
I understand. I'm a
Yeah,
human too.
yeah. I understand too. It's that's hard. It's like the hardest thing to do when the offender is your family and you have to forgive. That's the hardest. That's the hardest thing because you don't expect that, but it does happen.
Yeah. It happens sometimes,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
happens sometimes. So
Mhm.
no criticalness going on
Yeah.
here. Now, Sister Vicky says
Okay.
it's never been a struggle to forgive, but it's hard to forget.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's, you know what? I can definitely, yeah, we're here. We're here.
That
Yeah,
was a
that's
good.
definitely a
That
hard
was a
thing.
it was it's hard, but
Yeah.
it's now my brother.
Okay. What did he say?
He said one thing that I had trouble forgiving was
Uh-huh.
when I was in second grade, and someone said something to me, and he thought that this
Okay.
person was his friend, and he did not forgive. Well, wow.
Okay. He thought that the person was his friend, and okay, and they didn't forget. Wait a minute. One thing, let me read it again. One thing that I had trouble forgiving when I was in second grade, someone said something to me, and I thought this person was my friend, and I did not forgive her. Okay, all right, we get it. All right, so yeah, when people say things to you that are painful and hard, and it feels like an attack, right? Feels like an
Yeah,
attack, and
going
so
into
yeah. And so it is hard to forgive. It is hard to forgive. But like you said earlier, what was that wisdom nugget that you dropped from the beginning?
me. Oh,
Yeah.
me. It says you have one life. You have one life.
Mhm.
Forgiveness is the way to live it right.
Yeah. Forgiveness is the
That's
way
what
to live it right. So even when we don't want to forgive, we still have to. Yeah. And two, you know, sometimes we gotta forget. We gotta forget about it. Now let me
you
just say this.
forgive and forget.
Yeah, yeah. Now we remember so that we don't put ourselves in a vulnerable place again. But we shouldn't remember to hold on to what that person does, because then we feel a certain kind of way about that person or those people, and technically it's not really forgiving them. So,
Right.
that's my take on it. And I had to learn this myself. I had to learn. It's hard. It's not easy. All right. Do we have anybody else want to kind of chime in? Let's see.
Now we have another wisdom nugget from Sister Tanisha.
Okay, go.
And she says, that's why it doesn't take me long to forgive, because it hurts me more not to forgive. But I know that it releases me.
Oh, come on, Sister Tanisha, with the wisdom
You
nugget.
just gave me a Tina Campbell vibe.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
said the same thing. She and her song "Too Hard Not to." I think it was her first album. It was called "It's Still Personal" or "It's Personal," but Tina Campbell was saying, and we know what that song was based off of. If you never heard the song,
yeah. I mean, you know your
because
story, her story.
you know her story, and
Mhm.
she's saying that it's too hard not to forget.
Okay, can you just sing it? Sing
Okay.
that little line.
I don't want to sing.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll sing it. It's too hard not to. It's too hard not to. It's too hard not to forgive.
Yeah, yeah. And that's so true. It is. It's too hard not to forgive. So we need to forgive. And do you know what? Forgiveness is a choice. Like, we have to choose to forgive. That's why it's not easy, because we don't think, okay, I have to make a decision to forgive this person. I can forgive to stay upset. I can forgive to harbor the anger, the hurt, the pain, or I could choose to forgive. And like Sister Tanisha said, if I choose to forgive, then it releases me and I'm free now. I don't have to carry that weight, that burden anymore. I'm free. Yes, yes, yes. And so, yeah. And so we have to make the choice to forgive, because the Bible speaks about forgiveness. I mean, first of all, the fact that Jesus came lets us know that God has forgiven us. Let's start right there.
Okay.
Let's go right there. That lets us know that, God has forgiven us. And so we have to follow what the word of God says, whether you're a Christian or not. Listen, it's good for you to forgive. You don't have to know the Lord. You don't have to serve the Lord. But I bet you, if you don't forgive, it's going to hurt you. It's going to cause you some pain.
Right.
What you
Right.
think?
And I completely agree with you. And forgiveness is a choice. It depends on whether, I don't care if you choose not to forgive or do you forgive. Because either way, whatever direction you go, is gonna lead you to the same place.
Wow. Wow. Either way you go is going to lead you to the same. Wow. Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. Yeah. Do you know what? There's a quote that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made. There's something that he said. And he said, forgiveness is not an occasional act. Let me say that again. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a constant attitude. And that's just like what we were saying, that forgiveness is a choice. Like, it's a constant attitude. Like, you have to practice it every single day. You have to make a decision, really on a daily basis. Anything can happen. Somebody can step on your toe, and if you're not in the right mind, you don't have the right attitude, you're gonna be angry for the rest of the day. Listen, everybody, come on. Be honest. Has
Okay.
something happened to you where it just messed up your day and you were just angry the whole day? Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it was probably second grade. I'll have to go with second grade because technically I was still young.
Mhm.
I was still I'm still young. It was like
I was waiting for that. Okay.
3 years ago, or 3 semesters ago,
Yeah.
really. And, it was just kind of hard 'cause it really ruined my day. But if you
Mhm.
know my family, I mean, you should know my great-grandfather. We not gonna talk about what happened that day in 2nd grade, but
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
But it ruined your day,
it
right?
ruined my day. Yeah, it ruined my day. The men in my family, after they found that out, it was scary after a while. It was, like, scary after a while because I'm just confused, like,
Mhm.
why this happened to me, so
Yeah.
well, but then again, but then again, I'm kinda lazy. Then, "Yep, you, and you, yeah, you gonna handle that. I'll be right here with my great-grandmother and my grandmother and my mom, we gonna be
Right.
watching some clips of Earth, Wind& and Fire singing their hits, Yeah, you go handle that."
Wait, hold on. Audience, she did say Earth, Wind& and Fire. Yes, a 10-year-old did say Earth, Wind& and Fire. Okay, I
I'm
just
not
had
10.
to.
I'm 84. No, I'm joking.
Huh? Oh.
I'm not 84. I'm not 84. I'm not 84. I'm 10. I know these songs. Yes, I know Frank Sinatra. I know the Supremes. I know Diana Ross. I know Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, you know all the oldies.
I know. What's that song? Brian McKnight. Who sung that song? It was like, one, you're like a dream come true. Two, just wanna be with you.
Listen, I forgot. I don't even know. I
I think
do know if you tell me.
let me try. I know Sisters with Voices. I know Destiny's Child. I know
Okay,
Beyonce.
okay, we get it. We get it.
I
You're
know
an old soul. We get it.
but
Sissy said, "What you know about them?" Oh, she got an old soul. I'm telling you, she got an old soul.
yeah.
But yeah, I've experienced that too, where something has happened to me. It happened to me very recently, to be honest. Come on, let's tell it. This is about real life issues, right? This is what we talk about. And it happened to me recently. Somebody said something to me that was very off the wall, and it messed up my whole day. Like that was on my mind the entire day until I had to pray my way through. And I talked to, my husband, talked to your grandfather about it, and he helped me kind of get through it. But, I was like, listen, I'm throwing up my hands. I'm done with this. This is,
I got a question.
not done with the person, but just done, just I don't know. It
Just
makes you crazy when that happens. But thank God I got over it. Go ahead, ask me.
do you mean off the wall like cricket off the wall, or do you mean Michael Jackson off the wall? Just a question.
I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Okay.
I don't know
In
cricket off
between,
the wall.
in
So
between.
anyway,
Okay, in between. That's a good answer. In between.
yeah, in between. So okay, so there's another quote that we found by a poet and the playwright. Do you remember what it is?
Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. So what did he say about forgiveness?
Always forgive your enemies. This next part might make me get up, so forgive me. Nothing annoys them so much.
Yeah, my goodness.
That was deep.
That's a mic drop. That's a mic
Yeah,
drop moment right there.
yeah,
Yep.
the voice dropped the mic.
Always forgive your enemies, because what? Nothing
Nothing
annoys them
annoys them
so much. And that's so true. Like, and he's talking about people who always are attacking you. You ever have people who they seem like no matter what, you're like the target for them. They always coming for you, always got something to say. And Oscar Wilde is saying, just forgive them because they're gonna get annoyed. Like that. Like that's the best offense. Just forgive them. They like, man, I didn't get them this time. I didn't make them upset this time. Just forgive them.
But
That's some serious wisdom right there.
here's an experience. So this person was kept saying things to me, and I followed the advice of you and my dad. Shout out
Okay.
to my dad.
Shout out to your dad. Okay.
And you were like, just forgive them. They won't even know. Just say you don't care, because then they are gonna think that they're wasting their time and find another target.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yep.
but why does this person why does this person even need a target?
Oh, girl, I ain't even think about that. Why do they even need a target? Like, what?
Like, are they bored? Like, read a book. That's hilarious.
Read a book. Come on. Don't have targets. Just read a book.
I just know what you came to school for. Learn.
Yeah. Come on.
You didn't come to be mean. You came to learn. Just do it. Get it over with.
Just do it. Right. But you know what? A lot of times people target you and people, come at you because, like you said, they're bored. They don't have anything else to do, or they're trying to get attention. They want that attention. They want somebody to look at them and say, oh, okay, I see you. But at the same time, nobody can see you when you're making other people a target. They see what you do, and what you do is not something that's going to help you or elevate you or cause you to look good in other people's eyes. So, like you said, just like get a life, pretty much, just don't do that, just don't do that.
See, that said, go play in the street. I'm like, yeah,
go have a play date. Come on, somebody.
Jump rope, build the tree house, play double dutch.
But wait, Pastor Martin said, when you said read a book, he said read a book, LOL, or cut somebody off like Peter. Now, I don't think that's forgiveness. I don't know. It could be forgiveness, but that's more revenge. That's another topic.
That's revenge. Revenge is never the answer.
Revenge is never the answer.
Yeah, but just forgive them, because then they're gonna be like, I'm wasting my time. Like, it's be like if somebody came up to you and said you ugly. No, my dad taught me to say something back.
What did you say?
You told me to do the exact opposite. So this is my dad talking to me. If somebody say you ugly, so we were practicing that one day. He's like, say okay. So then he told me, say you ugly. Cosplay. Just wanted to put that out there. Cosplay. I was like, okay. And I was like, you uglier. And then, but you told me to just say ignore them, okay? And then that happened one day. I was like, this person called me ugly. I was like, okay. I was like, oh wait, by the way, this person's name, you uglier. I did both ways.
Sometimes you gotta have a comeback. Right? You gotta have a comeback, because people.
You gotta have a comeback.
You gotta have a comeback.
Because then they don't think you good, that you higher, but nobody higher than God, because there's no such thing. So they may think that you are, a little more popular because you got that comeback one day. So then they'll stop bothering you, and then you just do the exact opposite.
Right, you do the exact opposite.
Like today at my school, we were having a community garden at the church. I think at the church by our school.
Yeah.
We were doing this. We're supposed to do this community garden thing today. Do that.
Yeah.
If you're popular, do that, because then they're gonna encourage everybody else to do.
Right. Find something good, something positive to do. Right?
Yeah, when you get popular, find something good to do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're running out of time, Wisdom Girls. So we want to tell you some scriptures that you can hold on to help you forgive, something that the Lord tells us to do, and something, we already said, we know this is something we have to do, whether we want to or not. It's a choice. Every day you have to choose to forgive those who hurt you, those who come at you, those, you got to choose to forgive. And so Matthew chapter 6, verse 14 says, make sure you forgive the faults of others, so that your Father in heaven will also forgive you. And we're using the Passion Translation today. And so basically, if you don't forgive, guess what? Heavenly Father, He ain't forgiving you. So that's that's a reason to forgive. That's a tough one. Tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. All
You
right.
have
What
a
else we got?
Heavenly Father. When you said Heavenly Father, I was about to say thank you for the food. Thanksgiving be like, okay, Matthew chapter 18, verse 21 through 22. Later, Peter approached Jesus and said, "How many times do I have to forgive my fellow believer who keeps offending me? 7 times." Jesus answered, "Not 7 times, Peter, but 70 times 7 times."
Woo, that's a lot.
That's
a lot. So we got to keep forgiving. I'm not even trying to do the math. But the point is, you just have to keep forgiving. That's what Jesus is telling us, that forgiveness is something, it's a Christian principle, it's a life principle, whether you're a Christian or not. And it helps you move forward in life so that you don't carry the baggage, you don't carry the hurt, you don't carry the pain that unforgiveness causes you. Well, Wisdom Girl, it is the end of our show. We're so grateful to all of you who have tuned in today. We thank you for participating in the show and telling us your story. And we want you to do something. We want to make sure that you connect with us. What are the ways they connect with us, Wisdom Girl?
www.wisdomgirlwisewomen.com.
Yeah.
And wisdomgirlwisewomen@gmail.com.
Yep. And at Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you do that. We want you to help us grow this audience so that we can pour into other people and we can just share stories that can help other people. So make sure you like us, friend us, tag, share, subscribe, click the bell on YouTube.
Hit that little bell.
Yeah,
hit that little bell of liberty.
Yeah. And so we'll be right back here next week. Now we have a show for you where we are honoring Resurrection Sunday, and that show is about paying it forward. Isn't that interesting that it comes right after forgiveness, paying it forward? And then we want you to look out for the last show of the month. We got a special guest coming. Her name is Alicia Arnold, and we're going to be talking about what, Wisdom Girl?
Hair.
Respecting the crown.
Oh, yeah, respect the crown, but that's hair. Yeah. Your hair is your crown, not the regular. Yep. The crown can't fit on your head. Don't ever wear a crown.
All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.